Xbox announced its brand new FPS Boost mode for all of its players, and I want to talk about that brand new feature right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I am Matt, and welcome to Assemble. Today, I want to talk to you guys about FPS Boost. Brand new Boost mode feature that has been announced, released for players over across all of Xbox. This has me very excited because we have an initial lineup of games that are able to take advantage of this brand new feature, and two, it's going to give brand new life to so many games that we absolutely love that we played in the past or maybe we had missed out on and we didn't get to take advantage of. So this brand new backwards compatibility feature is coming across right now for a select number of titles. So some of the titles that we're actually getting to kick off for FPS Boost is going to be Far Cry 4, Watch Dogs 2, New Super Lucky's Tale, Sniper Elite 4, and UFC 4. So we have these awesome titles that are going to be able to take advantage of this new boost mode from Microsoft. Both New Super Lucky's Tale and Sniper Elite 4 are both available on Game Pass. So if you are a Game Pass member, you are going to be able to just get these games, download them, and play them. Far Cry 4 as well as UFC 4, we obviously need to be able to buy those games, but for so many of us, including myself, I had purchased Far Cry 4 on my Xbox when it first came out a couple of years ago, and I just went and re-downloaded the whole thing, downloaded on my console, booted up, and I am getting some glorious frame rates, guys. This is such an amazing feature for gamers, for console players on Xbox, because it is allowing to take a new breath of life into so many games that we may have missed out on and we may have loved in the past and we want to be able to revisit. It's amazing how frame rates can really truly change a game. When I look over on the PlayStation side and I have my current experience with Spider-Man and Miles Morales and the updates that they did over there most recently, where we're getting, performance ray tracing as well as 60 frames per second, and on Miles Morales they're doing a combination of both for selected modes. It really does change the experience. When I've gone back to a game like Spider-Man from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5 and putting it in 60 frames per second, I feel like it just changes the entire dynamic of the game for me. When I switch it back and toggle back to 30, it feels slow, his web slinging is much slower, it's not as fluid for combat and things like that. And I'm coming from just a pure console gamer perspective. Yeah, I know, my PC buddies, you got the 60 frames, you got the 120 frames, you got the nonsense with the screens and the refresh rates. I get it, yeah, all fancy over there. For us little console people, we don't get to have those experiences. We get what we get. This move by Xbox is allowing to give us so much more, and it creates this really great notion of what could happen down the road. As Game Pass continues to expand and they continue to broaden the library, and we have all the games, for example, under Bethesda that we are going to see coming up in a March event where we're going to have, new games announced, possibly some games for Game Pass, as well as maybe some games that are going to get some updates. This is a great move, and another incentive of why Xbox is continuing to do such a great job and great fan service across the board. When you boot up a game like New Super Lucky's Tale, you're actually going to get a really even bigger performance update when you are going to be able to get the frame rates up to 120 frames per second on that game, which just makes it absolutely insane to play. Now, the only way to get to that 120 FPS for New Super Lucky's Tale, you'd have to have a capable TV or monitor to actually produce that. Otherwise, you're going to get it dropped down to 60, which is still incredible for that game. And that's a game, again, that is a platformer. It's cartoony, it's very pretty and visually appealing. It's a solid game to be able to pick up and play. And I think that having that extra little boost in performance, it makes a game like that worth going back to. The other one that really makes it shine is 60 FPS on Sniper Elite 4. Being able to move your rifle around, buttery smooth, being able to snipe guys, the visual animations they do along with that, it creates that smoothness in a game that really can help have it stand out and have the ability to take advantage of a 60 FPS and really notice it for players. UFC 4, I haven't had my chance to get a hand on it, but what I would be excited about is that so many of the UFC games end up coming to EA Play. So again, guys, as Xbox Game Pass members, you get EA Play under the Ultimate subscription, you get EA Play built in there so you can take advantage of other UFC titles. They don't have that performance FPS boost in there yet, but it shows me that in possibly 6 months, a year, you could see UFC 4 moved under EA Play and then Xbox Ultimate, and you're gonna be able to take advantage of that. Far Cry 4 is the big one for me. I love Far Cry 4. I 100%ed that game. I got everything for that game, and I loved it so much, from the story to just how visually great it was, the mechanics, the gameplay, everything. I loved Far Cry 4. Having it at 60 FPS, moving it around, moving my rifle, using my bow and arrow, traversing, like, it just brings the game up to another level and allows me to go back and revisit this. Because something like Far Cry 4, I want to be able to go back and just play some of the side missions and just get back into the open world. And it's a beautiful game. And getting it at 60 FPS, like I said, I think it just creates a brand new life in a game like that. And so many players may have just missed out on it and not cared to pick it up or thought they might get it later. And I think this does great fan service for players. This shows us that they can take advantage of just a multitude of games to be able to increase that FPS boost. And I think it does a really good service that it's not forcing Microsoft game developers to have to resell another game all over again to get you like a remastered title, where we will still get that in some cases for maybe games that are a whole generation older. But recent stuff like a Far Cry or UFC 4, they're new enough where players are going to say, well, I don't really want to go and rebuy this thing for 40, 50, 60 bucks. That's not worth it just for a performance boost. But I think what FPS Boost does, it will actually allow more players and incentivize more players to want to pick up Game Pass. And I think that's going to be their home run. Where I'm interested to see where this goes, everybody, is that a company like Bethesda working under Microsoft now and with Game Pass, that's where I see games and titles like Dishonored, like Doom, all of these games coming out under Bethesda and bring them over and take advantage of all of those features from old catalog Bethesda titles that now can take advantage of that, all under the umbrella of Game Pass. And I think that's where Microsoft is going to be able to see, and probably hoping they will see huge boosts in all of their numbers and subscribers, because Game Pass is kind of their way home, I think, for this generation. If they continue to do these things, these goodwill things and these moves, it's only going to get more attention on the platform, and for players to be able to go back to the back catalog and be able to experience some games for the first time, or go back to older ones that they absolutely love. And it's interesting because we do this often with, like, I don't know, you get a phone update, or you do get a patch update and a console update for the system. They like, oh, they enhance the UI or they tweak something. And then we all get kind of excited to say, hey, ooh, what's new about this? What's the new feature? Or what do I want to be able to experience this patch, this update? Let me see how it's all been changed. I always get excited when I see that there's a new update for my Xbox or my PS5 or my PS4, and be able to see what they have done. If they said, oh, we've added this new feature, you want to be able to get in there and get your hands on it and try it out. And if they keep doing this, it's going to create better goodwill, and players are going to get excited and they're going to jump into these titles. So what games do you want to see? What do you want to see Xbox do next? I think this is a great start to kickstart things and move in this direction with the FPS Boost. What titles do you want to see take advantage of this boost mode? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what you guys think. Are there specific titles that are on Game Pass that you want to see get that little bit of boost and enhancement? Are there games that you just want to see brought over to Game Pass, or just on their own and really receive that love, care, and attention to get that extra little boost that will take advantage of it? The last thing I'll say, everybody, is that if you are having any issues when it comes to the FPS boost mode after it's been updated and everything on your console, and if you're wondering why maybe Far Cry isn't showing the performance update, just go back and restart your console, and that should actually get everything to work properly for you. So sometimes it's just a simple restart of the console, and that will click in the actual update for you. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up today on Assemble. I am Matt. Thank you so much for joining us. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, ding dong. How's it going today on your weekend? I'm exhausted, but I'm having fun. This got me all tickled. It got me all lit up in the nether regions about more updates. I love me a good patch, love me a good update. But let me know what you guys think. Are there titles that you want to see come over to the platform? Very curious what you think about all of this. Do me a favor, if you can, subscribe to the channel, like I said, because we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm very excited. I want to hit that mark before March. Just blast it, just keep smashing it. If you got those other accounts, hit them up too. Tell your friends and family and neighbors and coworkers and the little girl that works over at Starbucks that you're too shy to talk to, but you know that you want to talk to her. And it's a good way to get in there and be like, have you seen Matt on Assemble? And she'll say, who are you? Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. As always, thank you guys for assembling with us. See ya.